Okay, I guess this is part two. I ran out of memory card. I didn't realize the first part of this was so long. Apologies, but like I said, I'm new at YouTube and not sure about editing, so this will be part two. And I'll look at maybe breaking that up, and if I can figure out how to do that, maybe this will be part three. So it's not such a long single video for you to have to sit and watch. So as you can tell, I've got my master cylinder back on. Excuse me. I got the master cylinder back on, and we're about to start refilling the reservoir with brake fluid. We're going to tighten this up so we're not losing any of our new fluid. We may let it fill it until it starts running out so we know we've got our master cylinder full. And then when that happens, we'll close this off and we'll bleed the brakes. Alright, let me grab the fluid. And always, hydration. As the Stradman says, hydration. Alright. So this is dot 3 and 4. The bike recommends on every fluid as far as your clutch. It's got a hydraulic clutch in this. Your front brake fluid and your rear brake fluid all call for dot 4. They didn't have dot 4, they had dot 3 and 4. So here we go, we're going to use this. I don't think there's a big issue with that. But again, cannot stress enough, do not get this on your paint. If you do, make sure that you dilute it right away with water, I recommend. And then after we're done with this, we will dilute the bike with this area of the bike with water. I normally don't want water on my motorcycle if I can help it, but I'd rather have water on it than paint falling off in places because of brake fluid, and it's very corrosive. Something about it. So when I first poured that in, as you could hear it gurgling a little bit. Some of the fluid pressure ran down and fluid ran out, or air bubbles came out here at my bleed area. Can't hardly see that there. See, I've got this hose going to a catch tank, so I'm not all over the place with it. I'm going to gently hit the brake. You can squirt fluid back up the line and all over the place. So I know you guys can't see this, but the fluid level is coming down a little bit slowly. So I'm going to hold pressure down here. Find my 10mm wrench. And I'm going to, nope, that's an 8. It's not a 10. I'm going to tighten that dude down. So I'm going to hold pressure on it. When you tighten it, any air that was in that line, when you let it up, it can't get back in from here. That's how you bleed your brakes. So now with this tight, we'll push on the brake pedal. And we'll just keep pushing it down until we start to feel some resistance here. And it may be a little while to get all the air, because you got to get all this air out. And back full of fluid. What we may do, we may even crack this nut right here loose to let the fluid run down to here, just to kind of speed things along a little bit. Let's give this a couple more seconds here. So I'm going to pump that up, and I'm going to crack this open again, and we're going to see what happens here. Now we got some air out and some fluid out. This might work. Let's just continue this way. This is fluid levels coming down very slowly. Let's hold it. We'll open this up again. We got some more air and fluid out. Nice to have a helping hand. So, not exactly sure where the other video cut off at. I think I was just finishing up putting this together here, putting the cotter pin in, back in there, this master cylinder back on, cover back on. Might have mentioned people over at the Cycle Gear, really good people. If you're here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, swing by the Cycle Gear on, what is that, Sherwood Forest. You go see Robbie. Any of your motorcycle needs, pretty much help you with any aftermarket stuff. If you need OEM stuff like this master cylinder, I recommend going and seeing Friendly Honda if you're here in Baton Rouge. I know those guys over there. Mark, the owner, amazing man, awesome guy. And I recommend if you're here and can stop by, go by and see him. Okay, we're starting to get some pressure on the, I'm feeling some pressure there, which is good. That's what we want. Put some fluid. We're going to put some more fluid back in this reservoir. We don't want our reservoir to run out because all this bleeding, if we let the fluid run out of that and we just keep doing this, we're defeating our purpose of bleeding these brakes. We'll pump them back up some more. And this isn't a big brake system here. Pretty short, pretty small. So it's fairly easy to bleed these brakes. I like a lot of brake pedal back here. I don't like it to move. I want it to catch right there. I'm going to have to do some adjusting on this to get it to where I want it to be. But we're getting there. I can hear the back brakes engaging back there. And I want to bleed this until we don't see any air in our line. So we pump them up, crack the line, keep pressure on the back brake pedal. The fluid will run out. We hold that pedal down, tighten that back up. That keeps any air from coming back in as we hold that down. And then we can let our pedal back up when our bleed is tight again. And we can pump them back up. Hold pressure. Now I'm pumping it more than I need to bleed. Holding pressure down, tightening my bleed, letting pressure pump. You can hear the back brake engaging now. It's a good idea, good habit to get into is to change your fluid in your brakes, your clutch, if you have a hydraulic clutch. Once a year, when you change your, as often as you change your motor oil, well, I say not as often as I change my motor oil, but I ride mine a lot. But if you're not riding it aggressively or anything, you're changing your oil once a year, go ahead and change your brake fluids. Save you a bunch of headaches. I'm going to do it one more time just because I put some more fluid in there, and I don't want my, there's my upper level and that's where I'm at right now, but I don't want it up that high. I want it just below where it says the upper line there. Under the word upper, not the line. I don't want a lot of, these brakes are feeling really good now. They were a little sloppy before, they're feeling amazing. So that's it. That's where I want my fluid level to be, and that's where I want my brake lever to be in the back brake pedal. Right there. Oh, that feels so good. Oh yeah. So now with that, we can put our cap back on. You got this rubber boot here that's separate from this hard plastic piece. If I could separate them like that, that will extend out. And the reason that expansion is to take up airspace in your reservoir as your fluid goes down. It doesn't build, it keeps pressure in it. As you saw when I took mine off, it looked just like that. So we'll set that back in. Just like that. And that forms the gasket seal, the lid as well. This is your cover plate, or plastic cover plate that goes right on top of it. Then you've got your metal cover plate. Now it doesn't matter really which way this plate goes back on. But it's got your warning information on there and what kind of brake fluid you should, recommended use and all that. So I will put that out to where you can read it, just because I think it looks, it doesn't really matter to me. That's right. You get your screws, go back in that. Might get this back one in without taking that, loosening this off, but we sure won't get that front one slid back in there like that. So we'll get our tool back on here. Loosen this off a little bit, keeping in mind that this reservoir is now full of fluid, so you want to be careful. Go ahead and take this all the way out so I'm not tipping it. But you see how it's held in? It's got that nub that sticks out right here. It goes in this slot, and then the bolt. And that keeps your reservoir level. I've been meaning to do this job for, I think I ordered this kit, gosh, I think it's sat on my shelf since May. like I said, I didn't need to do this. It wasn't a necessity. I'll take that back. It needed to be done, right? The back brakes were working, but like I just suggested to you guys, make sure you change your brake fluid. And your hydraulic clutch fluid. Put this back on. Now, cinch this up. Cinched up. Now between this plastic where that bolt goes, there's a sleeve, an aluminum sleeve that slides in there to keep you from crushing the plastic when you tighten it back down. So it doesn't have to be gorilla strength tight, just good and snug. German, good and tight. Alright, there's that. We can take our, let's finish putting our back clip on back together here. So sometimes getting this plastic cover piece screw started, it's a bit of a pain here, so we'll start it first with it out. With it bolted to the bike, it could be a pain to try and get that. You can take it all the way off, just one more screw, but hey man, why do all that? We got it right here, right? So now we can get these back in. And I keep my passenger pegs on. For one, I like the way they look. For two, if anybody wants to go for a ride, my wife wants to take a ride, I don't have to fiddle with trying to get the back peg back on. All I have to do is take my cover off and put my back seat on, and she's ready to go. I want to make sure that we get these really good and tight. Make sure you start both of them before you tighten one down. You don't want to tighten one down and not have the other one started, and you tighten that one down and the whole thing shifts on you. So make sure you get them both in there and started. And there it is. Just take our other. This one has a shoulder on it that goes through this plastic, so we're not collapsing that plastic down when we tighten it. There it is. Check this one right here. That's good. That's good. That's good. And all those back brakes feel so good. Well, guys and gals, thank you so much, sorry about that, for coming back to Apex 223. I'm going to try and get some more riding videos. I've got to get a new camera that I can mount on the bike to get you guys some riding videos. But yeah, leave some comments. Please like the video. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and share. Tell your friends. I'm hoping to put a video up, maybe 2 videos per week, depending on how work goes. So, thanks for watching.